Let's go. Let's go. What do they say? A win is a win, is a win, is a win. Obviously, you guys, what is going on? I know you are so pumped up like me. And as LJ points out, to start off this wonderful, victorious live stream, we're 1-0 in the SEC, baby. And as Carvis points out, you have to shout out the defense, right? Wow. Wow. Let's see. Let's do this. Let's do this for a poll question to start off the live stream. Right there. I think I spelled offense wrong. So, look, we have a lot to get to. As always, the best way to get your question in Venmo, Cash App, at Carter the Power. The first thing is Daronte Jones is the MVP of this game. Now, obviously, it's going to come down to if the media ask Ed Orgeron, why did you decide to go to the three-man drop 8 decision? That is what won us this game. You notice, I pointed out in my game preview, it is so important that you don't over focus on just one player, because everyone said, well, you're going to be screwed without Derek Stingley. Well, the key was a philosophy switch to the defense, right? Max Johnson played wonderful. And as always, you can always count on Cade York kicking pretty much everything. Special teams this was one of LSU's better special teams performances of the season. So this is basically it. Cordell Flott for Heisman. And Trey, our first super chatter on a victorious Saturday morning live chat. I don't care. I'll go to midnight like we normally do anyway. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Offense flatline. We've got to be better. Let's go. Yeah, this is obviously my biggest concern with the offense today was the cowardly decision to go run, pass at the end. LSU's final possession, run on first down, TDP for 5 yards. The run on second down was inexcusable. And Jack Besh was robbed of one of the greatest catches I think I've ever seen. He clearly caught that ball, but who cares? The game was way closer than it should have been. True, I thought LSU did get a little lucky in the second half. The Cole Taylor touchdown was lucky. Trey Palmer's touchdown was a coverage bust, but you have to take advantage of those opportunities, okay? You still have to complete those passes. So offensively, LSU really made some questionable decisions. I didn't quite understand the KAYSHON Boutthe touchdown, and then on the very next drive, KAYSHON didn't even have his helmet on. Some of that is what needs to get fixed, but overall, LSU was able to win this football game. And look, LSU, yes, they were outgained by 150 yards in this game, but LSU, of course, also did really well in the turnover department. LSU also was able to allow Mississippi State to have those underneath routes. And that, to me, is what won LSU this game. The decision to go to a three-man drop 8 coverage scheme, and it worked. It worked. On the final Mississippi State touchdown, they went back to a 4-man rush, which I didn't really get. This defense just did not pressure Will Rogers at all today. A lot of that is a 3-man rush, but even when they were in 4-man rushes, it was kind of 50-50 on whether or not the LSU pass rush was getting home. Also, we saw today LSU's play action game worked as well. Okay, with the 3-man front and lack of pressure and open lanes for the QB to run through, I don't know how we beat Auburn if they used that blueprint for the fourth quarter and Bo Nix's legs. I do agree you won't be able to do that against Auburn, but obviously we have all week to talk about the Auburn game. And, of course, Bo Nix is going to be on the road, and we all know how he performs on the road, which is not good at all. I got a lot of this as well, KJ, about the holding calls. Now, I want to focus a little bit more on Max's comment. It's pretty interesting. And Max, we'll talk a little bit more about the Auburn game a little bit later, but this is the bottom line. LSU played a solid football game on the road with a young team. And you look, you know, you look at the players that really shine for LSU today. It wasn't the true freshman, right? Uh, Mason Smith wasn't all that effective today. He was fine, but he wasn't dominant like he's been in the first 3 games. This wasn't Deion Smith's best game either. Corey Kiner couldn't break through. And a lot of that was the run blocking. It was a lot of the experienced guys. It was Cordell Flott, who had a superstar game. Elias Ricks, even though I think he blew the coverage there at the end for their last touchdown. Overall, though, he was dominant. Damon Clark had his moments. Overall, though, LSU played a solid game. It was good enough to win, but of course, they do need to be better. The line actually closed LSU at 1.5. It opened at LSU favored by 4.5. I did have the over, and of course, that number ended at 53. So Vegas knows. They really do. You are right about that with them setting that over under at 55. But guess what? I don't mind losing that as long as LSU wins. Let's get together and glue Besh's cleats to the grass so the coaches can't take him off the field. Yeah, we got lucky that Cole Taylor was on the field on that final touchdown. I would like the media to ask Max Johnson, what was actually the play call? Was Cole Taylor even supposed to be there? Because it didn't really make sense that you would run the tight end drag over the middle with KAYSHON running a slant on the backside. It just doesn't make that much of a sense. But thank goodness he was there, because I do agree with Dan Orlovsky. Max was throwing off his back leg on that throw. That throw would have been intercepted if Cole Taylor did not undercut this. So, the 4-man front did work in bunches some. You know what's funny? I don't know what it is, but BJ Ojulari just can't get home. It's been such a struggle for him so far this year. Hopefully that gets going for LSU moving forward. He was going up against Charles Cross today, though. Charles Cross was a 5-star offensive line, and his get off is good. I don't know. I don't know what went wrong, what's going wrong for him right now. He did have a good couple of rushes, and let's be honest, Mississippi State does a good job getting the football out of their hands quickly. I don't know what exactly what's supposed to be the play. And thanks again, Carvis, for your super chat. Once again, super chats are the best way to get your chat. But overall, as Romeo points out, way too negative a reaction from the chat, man. You got guys wanted to bench Max. Come on. No, Max played really well today. Can we admit Max isn't that guy? Okay. So let's talk about Max Johnson's performance. I know it's not the prettiest, and part of Max Johnson's issue was his play calling wasn't the absolute best from Pete's. I thought he was playing to lose there at the end, kind of like LJ here. I hated the run pass there at the end of the game. I thought that just did not make any sense to me. Also, Jack Besh caught that pass. I don't care what anyone says. And I know I'm a Jack Besh stan really bad, but he caught that pass. You got to give the LSU defense a lot of credit, though. Mississippi State ran 88 plays, okay? So that is a lot. I would not be shocked that that's the most plays LSU has played defensively ever. I mean, 88 is a really, really, really high number. So guess what? When you play soft defense, that's what you're going to do. That's what you're going to face. So Max Johnson's number, 17-27 for 280 yards and 4 touchdowns. That's actually pretty good considering LSU only ran 54 plays. I thought TDP had a good game today as well. This was one of his better performances in a lot of different ways. So, but this is a key thing. Daronte Jones was multiple today. I thought he called a really, really good game today. Force Will Rogers to beat you deep, or force him to throw underneath and dare you to beat you deep. Now, let's be honest about this. I'm really happy LSU won this game. We have got to do better, though, at choking out the opposition. And today we kind of backed into this win. I don't think necessarily LSU played that well in the second half. Obviously, there's a lot you could take away from that second half. It was very strange. LSU did get some things to go their way in the second half, but overall, LSU deserved to win this game. And sometimes you just got to take it. Let's see. Orgeron says he studied heavily what Arkansas did against Mississippi State last year, which is very smart. The Barry Odom rush 3, drop 8 defense. Yeah, there you go, Cordell Flott. This is going to be key. The 3-man front worked for this game, but we probably won't see much of it the rest of the year, especially against Auburn this next week. What's up, Prez? How you doing? What's funny? Dellinger had a really good game today. We're not giving him enough shine. Out of any of the true freshmen that played today, Dellinger was the best. All things considered. Even on Max Johnson's touchdown, he made the right read to let the outside guy go unblocked. That was really good stuff right there by Delly to make sure to not go against your keys. I know it is natural for an offensive tackle to pick up the blitzer and let the inside guy go, but he was smart. He just took his guy, did his assignment. I thought Dellinger was pretty solid overall. So yeah, we'll see. But yeah, Max was pretty good today. All things considered, he was really, really good today. The Cole Taylor touchdown was very lucky. I will also say this. The Trey Palmer, okay, this is the most interesting stat. I tweeted it out and I shared it in the chat for the post game. His Trey Palmer touchdown pass, that is the first attempt in Max Johnson's career where he has thrown a ball to the deep middle of the field. His first in close to 300 attempts. Max Johnson had never thrown a ball 20 yards deep over the middle. That was the first time that he's ever done that in his career. So hopefully, even though it was wide open, that is Max's next step in his maturation, because guess what? Teams are going to get in too high shells until you start throwing that type of pass. And as Michael points out here, KAYSHON Boutte is the engine of this offense. I still don't understand. You score a touchdown with them and then you take him off the field. I don't really like that all too much. Let's see. Orgeron said Jake Peets predicted on the headset before the RPO touchdown to KAYSHON Boutte that if the safety came running down, pass to the slant. So that was all Jake Peets right there. But here's the thing. You got to go for the jugular after that. Keep up the pressure. Don't give up. The next step is obviously getting that big lead and then burying Mississippi State the rest of the way. So yeah, we'll see. Reed, I'll give you a lot of credit. You said it. Garrett Dellinger deserves the opportunity to start as a true freshman. You're right, man. So yeah, this was a really good start for Delly. He really played well. I just don't like starting true freshman offensive linemen. It shouldn't have ever got to this point. But yeah, he had a really solid performance. I do need to rewatch it. Like I said, it is always important when you evaluate offensive line play that you rewatch the game, because it's just natural to just watch the football. But I thought Delly overall had a decent performance. But I do agree the MVP has to be Cordell Flott. Another great performance. 2 huge turnovers in this game, both by Cordell Flott. He's playing incredible. And he's not only the MVP of this game, he's the MVP of the defense up to this point of the season. So, yeah, it was a really good performance. Dellinger was getting whipped in the first half, got benched for Bradford. Yes. So he also did get beat some, but overall it was solid. Okay. A true freshman left tackle starter in the loudest, most obnoxious SEC environment with the cowbells. Okay. I thought there were some good. There was also some whiffs in there, but once again, I need to rewatch and get a full evaluation, but I give Dellinger a lot of credit doing that, going from high school football in Michigan to SEC football on the road against an exotic front. It was okay. It was okay. Let's see. Yeah, KMC, the deep ball does need to get a little better. Okay. Let's see here. Um, hmm. Let's see. I'm going to get a few Orgeron quotes in here. I wish we'd finish a little better. I thought our guys tackled well. Orgeron says the 3-2-6 defensive scheme was something they've thought about since the week after last year's game. You know what's interesting? They actually ran that scheme some against Mississippi State last year. And the 3-2-6, that was a defense Chavis ran a lot, the Mustang package. It's really good. It worked really well today. Let's see. This is a concern, okay? So after Max Johnson made the big time touchdown throw where he stepped up into the pocket, we did have far too many back foot throws after that. The Cole Taylor touchdown worked, got a little lucky. That's not who we were throwing it to. But it's better to be lucky than good, the great Andy Gray said. So yeah. But once again, the big story to me wasn't, everyone made this week about Derek Stingley Jr.'s health. And I understand Derek Stingley Jr. makes his defense better. But the bigger thing was, would LSU play more zone against Mississippi State? I didn't think that they would. I did not think that they would. That's why I took the over. But they did, and I give LSU a lot of credit for that. Let's see here. Gotta love the big plays, man. Gotta love the big plays. Can we try some zone blocking schemes? Our line isn't enough to man them up. Yeah, they do run outside zone. That seems to be the play that worked with Corey Kiner last week. It's really tough to run that play, though, against an odd front that has really, really smart linebackers, as Mississippi State does. So, yeah, it was good. Let's see. Let's dive a little deeper into this, and let's check in on the poll question here. Who won us this game? Defense, offense. Let's see. LSU special teams was really good today. By the way, as we pointed out in the game preview, if you do Super Chat, you are in the running to win this Luminance Joe Burrow rookie card. Okay. So if you do Super Chat, or if you do get yourself some booger bands, once again, I was tweeting out about this: 1 for 10, 2 for 15, 3 for 20. The 3 for 20 deal automatically gets you an LSU rookie card. But one of you, once again, if you Super Chat, you will be in the running to win a Joe Burrow rookie card, Luminance. So let's see here. Tony! Gotta love it, man. Got to love it. Send them Super Chats, baby. You want a Joe Burrow rookie. Who doesn't want a Joe Burrow rookie from yours truly? Defense stepped up this week. Daronte Jones and Coach Carter and the team. Po boys for the PHL team if they respond in the next 5 minutes. I love it, man. I would like to tell Cordell Flott. Tell Cordell Flott to hop on the live chat. The Super Chat, all you got to do is hit the $, or preferably Venmo or Cash App. Whatever donation you want to do at Carter the Power. It's in the pin thing. So make sure you get involved with that. Yeah, I don't know why Corey Kiner jumped on that. He did. That ball was going to get picked off. Number 13 was an issue for LSU. He did get burned on the KAYSHON touchdown, but I'm not sure if the safety should have bit so heavily on defending the run. V-Love, thank you. First Super Chat in quite some time. Thank you so much. Thanks to all our Super Chatters up to this point. Shout out, obviously, to Trey. Shout out to Carvis and basically everybody, man. But look, LSU's got to get better. we can't run this same defensive scheme and beat Auburn and Tank Bigsby. They run duo, one of the most deadly blocking run schemes. I would like to see more three-man front, though, moving forward with some variations. And I think it could get B.J. Ojulari going in some aspects. So we'll see. There you go. Law V. Huh? You know you want a Joe Burrow, man. You know you want it. Yeah, look, 13 is a good player. I hope he's okay. That's such a tough hit in the heat at 11 in the morning to get blindsided by your own guy. That is the worst type of blindside. That's actually happened to me before. And it sucks. You can black out really quickly because you honestly just can't see that happening. Yeah, 3 on the line was a surprise. I did not think LSU was going to do it. I thought that they were going to be stubborn. I thought that they were going to stay in the 4-man rush. But, it was funny. Ed Orgeron was not asked about the scheme all that much. The media focused more on the players' injuries. I think it's more important to ask about scheme. I think scheme tells you more about what your team is going to do than if player X is going to play. Okay. What's for dinner tonight? It's funny. I'm actually having gumbo. My mom from New Roads, Louisiana, cooked up some mean gumbo. Ooh, it's so good, baby. And it feels so much better after a win. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's win 7 in a row in the SEC. Let's prove them wrong, Coach O. Coach O's probably going to come on here and say, Carter, I heard you were hating on me. I heard you were hating. I know Coach O is mad at me. I know it. He called me the other day. Kidding. He didn't. But I will say this. Jake Peetz and Ed Orgeron going run, pass. I don't know if I can forgive them for that. That was really bad coaching. Now, I will also say this. I did not like Ed Orgeron's decision to punt the football when we were in field goal range in the first half. I didn't like that decision. You got the best kicker in America, and if the ball is on the 40-yard line, he is going to make a 57-yarder, okay? Go for it. let Cade York kick that football. I also will say this. Mike Leach called an awful game today. Really, really, really bad. And I think part of it was he did not expect LSU's defense to run the scheme that they ran today. And he did not adjust to it. Also, Will Rogers was not good today. The one time that he did have a receiver open, Malik Heath in the end zone, he overthrew him. He burned Dwight McGlothern, who I thought had another good game for LSU. That was the only play where McGlothern got beat deep, and they choked. So we did get a little lucky that we scored a touchdown that we weren't supposed to score, and they missed a touchdown, and they also missed the chip shot field goal after that. So, it's crazy. Please do not drop the F-bomb in the chat, because I almost put it up on the screen. KMC, I respect you, man. Gumbo! Gotta love it, baby. Gotta love it. Please do not curse in the chat. Yeah, what kind of pass rush do you expect rushing 3 down? What was really fascinating, though, Complex, was the 3-man rush, I thought could have been a little bit more aggressive when you're going up against a pocket quarterback, but it worked. The defense worked today. I'll take a 3-man rush any day of the week. Trey, thank you for the super chat, my man. He hit us up with the Venmo. Unless opposing offense is going fast tempo, is it that difficult to switch back and forth to 4 and 3 linemen as needed within a series? Genuinely curious, because I never played. Okay. So Trey wants to know. Okay. Trey, thank you for Venmoing. I really appreciate it. Once again, super chats are well received, but Venmo and Cash Apps are always the best. Once again, if you want some booger bands, 1 for 10, 2 for 15, 3 for 20. And of course, if you do super chat during the live chat, I'm giving away a Joe Burrow Luminance rookie card. And this card is actually still pretty gem. So I want you guys to have that. So, Tony, I'll get to your – oh, thank you, Tony. I appreciate it. It's honestly not that hard, especially considering LSU has some defensive linemen that can play in both schemes, especially Mason Smith. If Mason Smith is playing one of your defensive end roles, it does make your 3-down line a little bit more effective. I thought Jaquelin Roy had a little bit of a rough game. I also thought the defensive line, because they were in new alignments, they jumped off sides, obviously, way too much. We jumped off sides 3 times today. One was Roy, one was Smith, one was Ali Gay. That's expected in a hostile environment and, of course, playing in a new scheme. Kedrick, thank you for the generous super chat. Kedrick dropping a very nice cash app. Kedrick, get your question in. By the way, Kedrick is one of the new dads. He just had a baby about a few months ago. Shout out to all the super dads out there, okay? If you're a dad or a mom, I'm telling you, I got to have dinner last night with my father last night. It's so important, dads, to be super dads like Trey. But you know what's interesting, Trey, is that you can play both schemes. You can switch back from 3 to 4 men rushes because guess what? We're LSU. We got defensive linemen for days. Keep in mind, this was without Andre Anthony. I thought Jarrell Cherry had a few good reps in this game. He made a really nice tackle when Mississippi State tried to do their shovel pass game. I also thought Mississippi was going to call a lot of screens today, but once they saw LSU was in 3-man rushes and their pass rushing wasn't as aggressive, it makes it harder to run their screens. Their only tunnel screen worked when LSU was in a 4-man rush. So, Trey, I just thought today, if you play Mississippi State, you need to rush 3, drop 8. That is the best way to defend them. Now, as far as playing Auburn next weekend, it's going to change up. For me as a defensive lineman, it didn't matter. Put me anywhere, I was going to try my best. I wasn't that great, obviously. But, it is a little bit easier with LSU because you have Mason Smith and you have guys that can play in both. I thought Jaquelin Roy wasn't as dominant. He's probably more of a 4-3-3 technique defensive tackle, though. I thought Neil Farrell played a solid game playing that nose tackle role. And when Neil Farrell played the nose tackle role in a 3-4, he actually played one of the defensive end roles. I thought Neil Farrell had a really solid game today. Tony, everybody, the Master Blaster is here after a win. Let's go. Let's go. I don't like a defense that sits back and react. This is not the LSU way. I understand we did it, but still with our talent, should we dictate or force teams to react? Yes. Your thoughts. This is actually a really good question, Tony. Let me go ahead and answer this one really quickly because Kendrick did get a super chat in first. Once again, shout out to all the super dads out there. Tell me what can LSU do to turn this around? Because I believe in the SEC isn't necessarily Alabama or Ole Miss. What does LSU need to do to get into the mix? Well, today was a step forward in the right direction. LSU played disciplined football. They played smart football. Obviously, Mississippi State did a lot to lose this game. I thought Mike Leach was really bad in this game. I thought he was horrible at the end of the first half. I thought he was horrible at the end of this game. I thought the challenge when the ball clearly didn't go 10 yards was really bad. It was just bad on so many different levels. Still, LSU, I thought, even though they were outgained, this is one of those rare instances where I thought LSU's defense did the smart thing. Don't get beat on explosive plays. And let's be honest, LSU would have run more plays if we didn't drop a few third down passes. So, if the offensive line was slightly better, LSU probably wins this game in a blowout. The only thing I can really criticize Jake Peetz for is a few things. I thought the wide receiver rotation was a little weird at times, but at the end of the game, we are LSU. We are not a team that goes run, pass. You do not back yourself into a win ever. I don't want to see that again. I thought that was the only thing. I don't want the game to be decided by Ty Davis Price. That is what the defense wants you to do. Don't go run, pass. Play till the very last whistle, okay? I can understand if you're up by 30 and you're doing that, but not if we're up only by 2 scores. Don't. That was not good management from Peetz and Orgeron there at the end. So I think that's going to be key, Kendrick. I also think, as far as Alabama and Ole Miss are concerned, those games are still a few weeks away. Obviously, injuries are going to play a role into that as well. So yeah, and Ole Miss is really good this year. It's going to be interesting to see what they do over the next couple of weeks. We also play Ole Miss the week after we play Florida. That's going to be a tough spot, but we'll see what happens. Tony, I actually disagree with you on this. Modern defense is allowing the offense to come to you, right? The reason why that's the case is because, number one, all right, and this honestly is a really good question because this isn't the LSU way. We're used to Glenn Dorsey and Marcus Spears and Chad Lavallee going into the backfield and tackling people. We're used to playing downhill, stack the box. We're going to stop your run type of defense. Well, those days are gone. These quarterbacks are too good. The rules go against you in every shape, form, and fashion. So I understand that a lot of you don't like the sit back and react thing, but that's what you have to do when you play these teams that run these shallow crossing routes. And look, yes, Mississippi State was able to run the football some. So what? It was for like 6 or 7 yards. It's better than giving up a 50-yard chunk play. Also, they were able to dissect our zone defense, but it took perfect throws for that to happen. So I understand, Tony, it is a little weird seeing LSU play. I also, in that fashion, I also think Ed Orgeron doesn't necessarily like seeing his defenses play that way. But the bottom line is it is the best way to defend 3 teams that you play every year. That is the best defense to run against Mississippi State. It is definitely going to be the best defense to run against Ole Miss, and it's definitely the best defense to run against Florida. Those are passing first teams. Those teams don't run the football between the tackles all that well. We want them to run the football. What we did today, even though Mississippi State did outgain us, even though Mississippi State ran 88 plays, so freaking what? They didn't score touchdowns. And the bottom line is that's the key. We did not give up explosive plays. So here's the thing. You can't have it both ways. You can't want to attack while at the same time exposing yourself to explosive plays down the field. Perfect example of this was the Florida game last year. LSU jumped out, obviously, to a lead in that game, and they thought the right thing to do was attack when they should have done the opposite. We should have just forced Kyle Trask to nickel and dime us, but we didn't. We kept bringing safeties into the box, and that's how Florida got back into the game. So, that to me is obviously, the big key moving forward. It is a great question, Tony. It is a great, great question. And I understand LSU has a lot of defensive talent, but guess what? That same talent is on the field when we're running that scheme. And you notice the guys who had better games today. Major Burns had a better game today, right? Because we did not stack him into the box. He is a lighter safety who likes to play fast and downhill. So instead of bringing him into the box, let him play deeper and run downhill to make plays. I thought Major Burns had his best game as an LSU Tiger. I have been pleading in my film studies to make him play further back so he can read and react. That's how he wants to play. He was phenomenal today. I thought he had a really good game. Let's see. A&M and Arkansas. I'm going Arkansas, man. I'm not watching the game. I want to focus in on you guys right now. And here's the thing, Romeo. There are some things that bother me about this game, right? I didn't like our second half. We obviously got a little lucky in the second half that our touchdowns were the byproduct of a really bad blown coverage, and we were targeting a different receiver, and they also missed some throws in the second half. But it was better. It is better than traditional LSU third quarters, right? Where we choke away a game in so many third quarters. This was our best third quarter in quite some time. A little lucky, but who cares, right? You're on the road. This had been an area of weakness, and we did really well. And that's the thing. the yards are deceiving, right? Now, here's the thing. When you play more conservative defensively, and Tony, let me know what you think about my response. When you play more conservative defensively, they are going to have longer drives. So when you fail to convert your third downs offensively, it becomes even more huge, right? So here's a good example of it. Remember early in the game, Deion Smith, who had a really rough game today. Guess what? That's going to happen. He was probably a little too hyped to be from Mississippi and playing in his home state, and he had just had the game. I thought he never really settled down in this game. He had a rough game. I watched Coach O, and he looked scared in his interviews and on the sideline. Do you think he feels the pressure? I think he was trying to save his coaching life. Your thoughts? This is a really good super chat again. Okay. So the first thing, Tony, I know Ed Orgeron is feeling a lot of pressure. I think the reason why, and I felt that as well, I did think he looked a little uncomfortable on the sideline. I think part of it was because this is not an Ed Orgeron defense. He wants to run a four-man front. He wants to go down with a 4-3, right? And I think one thing Ed Orgeron felt uncomfortable was, well, he knew that this game was going to play a huge effect on his future. So today, he really allowed Daronte Jones to call this defense. Now, once again, I didn't get to see the Ed Orgeron press conference session with the reporters. It would be interesting that if this specific question is asked, and it's very important when you ask these questions to be as specific as you possibly can, whose decision was it to go to this front? Okay. He might have said something about it. I know someone asked him about this. Let me see. Orgeron acknowledges that LSU studied heavily what Arkansas did against Mississippi State last year. Ed Orgeron on the win. We've been working on stopping the air raid since last year. We made some improvement, but wish we would have finished. So it was probably Ed Orgeron's decision along with Daronte Jones's decision. But this was very uncomfortable for Ed Orgeron to shift his front into this, right? So I give Ed Orgeron a lot of credit. He made the philosophical decision that won us this game. Schemes, they say this all the time. Players are more important than scheme. And that's true. It does come down oftentimes to who has better athletes. But when your scheme is so outdated, which, the way LSU ran their four-man front against UCLA was really outdated. They didn't give him any different looks. You've got to go to a three-man drop 8 against the air raid. And that is what worked. And Mississippi State never really got in a rhythm. Arkansas with an 80-yard TD. Let's go, Hogs. Let's go. Man. So yeah, I give Ed Orgeron a lot of credit. This was one of his better games between the headsets in quite some time. I did disagree though with the with some fourth down decision making. I thought I never like punting on 4th and short in plus territory in a close game. I just don't think it's ever really the right thing to do, especially if you have an elite field goal kicker who's got a leg, and the conditions today were good. So yeah, our defense stepped up today. Yes, ma'am, they did. Wait, when did Brandon Harris join the chat? Yeah, LJ, once again, I don't like to talk about specific offensive linemen until I rewatch the games. So it's kind of hard for me to say anything about Liam. Okay, let's go Hogs. What's the score? Someone give me the score. I can't see. I could pull it up right here. Okay, let's see what the poll question is right here. Defense winning the poll right now. There we go. Let's go Hogs. Kedrick, thank you again for, man, always hooking us up, man. I really appreciate you, man. Oh, it's 10-0 Hogs? Let's go, Hogs. Let's go. Anytime Texas A&M loses, I'm a happy person, right? Anytime. Yeah, once again, let's not talk about Brandon Harris, even though Brandon Harris's offense put up 70 points today. How about that? Mississippi State's DBs. Huh? Yeah, that did help out some that they did not have a good game. 13 had a good game, but everyone else. Let's go. Kendrick, thank you for another nice Cash App. I appreciate you, my friend. Thank you. Let's see. You know what's funny, Cody, about Texas A&M? Once again, I'm not going to focus too much on them. You know, I'm so glad they did not get in the college football playoff. That would have been the worst college football playoff team I think I've ever seen. Okay, so Kendrick, this is a good question. I'll go ahead and look forward. What does LSU have to do to win against Auburn? The first thing is knowing Bo Nix is not good on the road. So the one thing that LSU did a good job of against Bo Nix in 2019 was they threw so many different types of looks at him, and he couldn't really do anything about it. Last year, our defensive schemes were way too simple, and we legit just gave the game away. All Gus Malzahn did last year was run 2-for-1s to the outside against our man coverage. So essentially, he knew that we were playing man coverage. So what he would do is he would have the wide receiver go block a different defensive back, knowing that the defensive back would run with that wide receiver, and it opened up all kinds of runs and passes. So the first thing is, once again, don't play man coverage against Auburn. They're going to kill you with that. The second thing is throw, once again, a bunch of different looks. Now, I haven't really been able to watch a whole lot of Auburn's defense up to this point. Once again, I'll watch them more this week. But offensively, the offensive line, of course, has got to play better. We know Auburn's going to have a lot of speed. Owen Papo is a really good player for them. So yeah, we'll see. Hopefully, we have enough. But I would not be terrified of Bo Nix ever, even though he had a good game against us, 300 yards and 80 yards rushing last year. Who gives a rip? He's still not that good, especially on the road. And he's going to commit some turnovers. But once again, you know, with Cordell Flott playing the way that he is, speak of the devil, I promise you, Tony and I have a mental connection, man. Right when I was saying Cordell Flott, I get a super chat about Cordell Flott. There is nothing more I love than seeing an LSU player who struggles but then bounces back. Okay. And there is no player on this channel that got slandered more last year than Cordell Flott. Okay. And I agreed a lot of the times, but every time I defended him, he went up against a murderer's row of slot wide receivers last year. And today he avenged what was an awful performance last year against Mississippi State. He was really good. And he's been LSU's best defensive back this year, whether it's defending screens, whether it's interceptions or any of that. But as far as Derek Stingley is concerned, can I just say something out loud? Obviously, LSU is not better without Derek Stingley. But in their last 3 games without Derek Stingley, they're 3-0. Okay? Just throwing it out there. Okay? And once again, LSU's pass defense is probably better with Derek Stingley, but Derek Stingley was not the difference today. Even if he would have been playing, he wouldn't have been the difference. The difference was the scheme change. And that's the key thing, right? So, you know, I'll obviously support any player, what he wants to do. Obviously, Derek Stingley's in a boot. He's obviously hurt. I hope he feels better, and I hope I see him in an LSU uniform again. But once again, the good thing was he did get hurt in the middle of the week, and it did give LSU time to adjust. Dwight McGlothern had a really good game today. Outside of getting burned that one time and they missed the throw, he was good. Major Burns had a good game. Cordell Flott had a good game. So, yeah, it was good. It was good. So here's the thing, SG. LSU linebackers don't attack. They make a lot of tackles, but very few for loss. How do you fix that? Well, you don't. You keep doing what you're doing. And this kind of goes back into the defensive philosophy, right? We're so used to Ali Highsmith, Lionel Turner, and Devin White. We don't have any of those guys on our roster. None of our linebackers are that good. Plus, the game has changed so much. You don't want your linebackers attacking, because what happens when you do that is it opens up play action over the middle, especially when you play Mississippi State that runs a lot of shallow crossers. You don't want your linebackers attacking the line of scrimmage at the snap, okay? So that was partially by the scheme, right? We don't want to get burned deep. In fact, the safety placement battle, Zach Arnett for Texas A&M called an awful game for them today, and we even gave them a few drops. His scheme was just all over the place. So, yeah, I mean, I understand that it's so weird. We're not used to seeing LSU play so conservatively defensively, but that's what you have to do. So hopefully that answers your question, SG. I thought Devon Clark played okay. He had a few misses. Obviously, the penalty on the 2-point conversion was bad. But, yeah, let's see here. But we'll see. You know, Brad Davis is doing what he can with this group. I don't think you can really judge Brad Davis after year one. I think you got to give him a year two. I know you're paying him $830,000 a year, which is really high. That's a lot of money for a position coach. Still, let's go, Hogs. Yeah, the run game needs to get a little bit more unpredictable, right? You attack with your corners. Yeah, you know, corner blitzes might work some. Yeah, Liam's a good story. He is a serviceable offensive lineman, but yeah, we'll see. Mo Funky, what's good? Jason Hines got slandered, but it's still deserved in his case. Yeah, so you go back to the touchdown to KAYSHON with Max. On the play before, if I'm not mistaken, Jason Hines got bull rushed into Max Johnson, which forced a missed potential touchdown there. So, yeah. Well, they got a good defensive coordinator. I'm not able to watch, but they rushed 3, drop 8. That's their base defense. That's why we struggled with them last year too. And they didn't have their defensive line. Let's see here. Will Blackwell, according to Shea Dixon, is 100% committed, and he is enrolling in January. So we will have Will Blackwell. I did radio with Will Blackwell yesterday, LSU All-American offensive lineman. Shout out to Sean Fox in West Monroe. Has one of the best radio shows in the country. He's really that good. If you're in North Louisiana, you know Sean Fox. And Jared Roser was on there as well. I had a great interview with them yesterday, and we were just talking ball. Will Campbell might be the next Will Blackwell. In fact, he might even be better. Will Blackwell says he is 100% committed, and he is enrolling in January. So if there is ever a case where a true freshman will start on the offensive line, it'll be that. Paris! Paris. Like I've been saying, some people are spoiled from the 2019 national championship. This is not a championship team. Don't have expectations that are there. Max is not Joe. Exactly. Let's go. 17-0, Hogs. Let's go. The Natty State is going to be litty. Texas A&M is not that good. They weren't that good last year. There was 2 teams last year. 2 teams in the SEC that did not average 7 yards per play against LSU's defense. Only 2, Texas A&M and Vanderbilt. In fact, Texas A&M didn't even average 5 yards per play. They didn't even average 4 yards per play. They averaged 3.8 yards per play against our defense last year. And they wanted to get into the playoff. They only scored 17 points on Vanderbilt last year, and they wanted to get into the playoff. And all we heard, and this is Texas A&M's year, they're recruiting at an extremely high level. I give them that. I give Jimbo a lot of credit. Okay? They're starting to recruit the 5-star linemen, and I know that their quarterback got hurt, but they still aren't that good. Arkansas. Jared, where are you? Jared, are you in Starkville still? Jared was at the game, everybody. Jared sent me a bunch of photos, too. Get some water. That yell. Yo, we lose to UCLA and we fell out of the top 25, but UCLA loses to Fresno State and they remain ranked. So that gets into transitive property. Fresno almost lost to a bad UNLV team last night. So it is interesting, right? A&M is way worse than their hype train says, and Arkansas is a good bit better than their lack of hype says. Yeah, you know what's interesting is that Arkansas is a basketball and baseball school, right? Their top 3 SEC baseball program, top 3 SEC basketball program. But obviously football is what moves the needle. And yeah, I'm not going to lie. I'll say this about Arkansas, okay? I've been to Fayetteville a bunch of times. I've covered a bunch of games in Fayetteville, probably 10 games in Fayetteville, right? And I will say there is so much money in Fayetteville. The resources are there, okay? Obviously, the fan base is there. The history is there. I mean, they're never going to get 4 and 5 stars, but their coaching staff is just really good right now. KJ Jefferson is like a Heisman Cam Newton. I'm happy for him, though. You know what's Mike Leach tears are drinking? Arr. Pirate reference for Leach. But this is basically the story, right? What's up, Bruce? This is the story. Cordell Flott is the story. I'm dead serious, okay? If we want to focus on a player, I know all the focus and all the chatters about Derek Stingley. Will he ever play another game for LSU? Well, up to this point, we're at almost as many games that he hasn't played than he has over the past 2 seasons, right? And look, I hope Stingley gets healthy. We're better with him, obviously, but Cordell Flott's the story, right? This is as big of a bounce back as we've ever seen, right? This is a Joe Burrow-esque type of leap. Now, he's not at that level, but Joe Burrow was decent in 2018, and then he became one of the all-time greatest. Cordell Flott wasn't that good last year, and now he's been the best defensive back on this team, okay? This is insane. Insane. And once again, you know, I've got to say, I defended Cordell Flott. I said he could have a bounce-back season. I also said if he started playing bad, you should have a really short leash on him because he wasn't good last year. But Cordell Flott last year, okay, these are the wide receivers that he went up against in the slot. Anthony Schwartz, who's balling out now for Auburn, or for the Cleveland Browns as a rookie. Last year, he went up against Kadarius Toney. Last year, he went up against Devonta Smith. That's not his fault. He shouldn't be lined up against those guys. Last year, he was lined up against Treylon Burks. Okay? That's not his fault. That is not his fault. He's getting more favorable matchups, and He's playing more loose. So give Daronte a lot of credit, but give Cordell Flott a lot of credit, because mentally to get burned as badly as he did last year and to just come back and keep fighting and keep working, that is some resolve on that young man. One of the great Alabama Tigers. Look, I know a lot of people focus on, Nick Saban's had all these great Louisiana players. Heck, LSU's had a lot of great Bama Tigers, right? Neil Farrell, Quan Alexander, now Cordell Flott. They've had some good players from that state. We held a very potent pass-happy offense to 6 yards per pass. I ran 30 more plays than us. I see improvement in all areas, honestly. Exactly, Aaron. It was a very smart defensive scheme. Who cares if they run 1,000 plays? I don't give a rip. As long as they're not scoring touchdowns, as long as they're not scoring 70-yard bombs. Look, last year, LSU led the SEC in 3 and outs on both offense and defense. The only issue, though, was LSU defensively also had so many drives last year where the other team would score a touchdown in 5 plays or in 1 play or 2 plays. Make them work for it. Make them settle for field goals, which, like you guys saw today, they will miss. So I would say it's really good, man. I sing that song all the time, trucking. Oh, Jared, you already driving back home? I love it, man. I don't know why they gave Jimbo that extension before the season. It just didn't make sense to me. Now, that doesn't mean he won't end up being great or he doesn't end up winning a college football playoff there or going to a college football playoff. Texas A&M has the resources. They obviously are in a recruiting-rich state. They've done a good job recruiting Louisiana and a few other areas. I just don't understand why they gave him an extension. I give Jimbo's agent, who I think is Sexton, whatever, a lot of credit. I do. You know what, Kevin? I was a Jeff Grimes guy. He was my number 1 offensive coordinator. I thought Jake has called 2 pretty solid games in a row. Today he did get some luck, but a lot of that was due to his play calling. He called the RPO for Max Johnson to throw the football to KAYSHON Boutthe. He had a really good game today. So if he begins to struggle, we'll see. But Jake, that's 2 good games in a row. I still think the wide receiver rotation is a little strange, but we'll see. Good win today, but with all this talent, we're barely scrapping by teams that don't recruit anywhere near us, but they still hang around in games. Yeah, Jay Bird, I think a lot of that was on O. I did not understand the run pass in that game. That was not good. That was not good. And Diggo, this is part of it too. I didn't understand why we didn't stick with the tempo. Maybe LSU was scared of their offensive line. I don't know. I did think when LSU got the lead, a few things started to happen. They started to regress a little bit in their thinking. They're like, okay, we have a lead. No, don't do that. Football, the biggest mistake coaches make in football is they play the clock, okay? Never play the clock. Only worry about putting as much points as you possibly can on the scoreboard. Don't worry about clock management until it actually gets down to the final 4 or 5 minutes of the second and fourth quarter. That's when you start worrying about timeouts and management and all of that. I would like to see if LSU's tempo did slow down as the game moved on, how much it slowed down. But yes, this was obviously a huge step forward for both Daronte and Jake. When against UCLA, neither one of those guys were good at all. So, yeah. So, Dan, I get this logic, but here's the thing. They weren't scoring fast on us anyway, right? Our defense was playing well. So just because you don't want to overthink it, don't slow down your offense when your offense starting the game actually started pretty well. Keep up the tempo. The goal is to score as many points as you possibly can. And also, welcome to the channel, Dan. I love your dog, man. We are a dog happy channel. Let's see. Let's go, Hogs. Put A&M down. Yeah, it was one of those games for Kiner and Goodwin. It was kind of a welcome to the SEC kind of thing. Kiner tried to hurdle somebody and got himself hurt. I understand that's good for the IG. It's good for the highlight reel. But now you see this everywhere. You see players at high school and the college level try these hurdles that don't make any sense, right? You don't want to hurdle when you're going to get killed, right? Let's see here. Stop the cap. What am I capping? Yeah, once again, I just think it's too early to, this was obviously Daronte's game. He called a really good game today. Yeah, it's dangerous when you in that. Now, I will say this: Zay is very anti Max Johnson, which is fine. I will say this though: Walker Howard had his best game as a high school football player yesterday. Now, if you look at his completion percentage for through 2 games, it's in the 50s. But this is a guy who lost his 2 best receivers. He was ridiculous last night. Ridiculous. He is a real deal Holyfield. I just don't know if he's going to start as a true freshman, but we'll see. I didn't know this, Grant. I did not know that you can't hurdle in high school. Also, speaking of hurdling, how critical was that Mississippi State penalty? This is why it's good to have a special teams coordinator like Greg McMahon at LSU. Mississippi State jumping the shield. I still can't believe that Mississippi State got called for that, and it ultimately somewhat kind of sort of cost them the game. It didn't cost them the game. They probably still lose, but jumping right there is not smart. Okay. So once again, we are giving away a Joe Burrow Luminance rookie card. If you Cash App or Super Chat or Venmo, you're automatically entered for this. Yeah, Reed, I was kind of scared when he did that because when I was like, God, he got hit really hard. And then when I saw the replay, I was like, oh, he was trying to jump a guy at the sideline. Yeah, KJ, don't do that. I hope they do. Let's go, Arkansas. Blow them out. Let's go. It's still 17-0. Yeah, Zay, it's not the prettiest. It is not the prettiest, but he gets it done. He's a really good quarterback. Okay. Now, could he be better? Yes, but once again, it's only year 2 of his maturation. And it does help out having KAYSHON Boutthe on the field. Man, dude, I just didn't understand. You can't jump the shield. You can't do that. That is one of the first things your special teams coach should tell you. Because the thing is, running into the punter penalty is only 5 yards, okay? When you jump the shield, it is not only a 15-yard penalty, it's a personal foul before the punt. So it's an automatic first down more often than not. There you go. Tony, you can go on ahead and send me that card. Oh, there you go. Okay, so who is opposed to Tony getting the card? Okay, who in here thinks Tony deserves the card? Okay, Tony's been eyeing down this Joe Burrow card like I eyed down the last lemon pepper chicken wing in a batch. Who here believes Tony deserves the Luminance Joe Burrow rookie? State your case. Might have another Joe Burrow rookie over here. I might give another one out. Tony paid. You think y'all think he deserves it? Raise your hand if you think you deserve the Joe Burrow rookie card. Okay. So here's what I'm going to do as far as this. Come on. Tony's a master blaster. Tony, congratulations. You're getting the Burrow rookie. All right. Jay Bird said, give it to Tony. So there you go. Man, give Tony the card. Jared said, no, I want it. I've already sent you a Joe Burrow rookie. There you go. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. Okay, good vibes. Give it to Tony. Well, Big Al is the treasurer of PHL, so he gets to he actually has some say on this channel. So Tony, you are the winner of the Joe Burrow rookie card, okay? So give it to Tony. You thought you were special. Jared, you got to go to the game today. So, Tony, you want it. I already have your address because you do have booger bands already. So, here's what we'll do. Okay. I want someone else to say or comment right now. Tony, I think I have your address. If not, email. No, I do have your address, Tony. Who else super chatted? I'm gonna let's see. I was gonna give something to Kedrick. This is going to be interesting, Lily. I thought LSU actually called. I didn't mind the four-man front getting mixed in there some. I was a little shocked how difficult the four-man front was at getting home. You did use your mom's credit card. We are bad gamers for the Joe Burrow card. Tony deserves it. Tony also, I'm not going to lie, I have a soft spot for military as well. Tony did serve. So yeah, Tony, Tony was probably going to win it anyway because he's a master blaster, right? Kedrick, shoot me an email as well. I want to send you something as well for supporting the channel. Yeah, it does look like KAYSHON's going at half speed sometimes. I'll let you know you're a really good football player. He's got that Randy Moss ability where it looks like he's not going at full speed, but he is. He's just special. Some guys are just special athletically. When we sprint, just go outside and go sprint and film yourself sprinting and look at how ugly you look. That's what I do. I filmed myself sprinting one time, or when I would watch some of my soccer tape, I look so ugly. I look like an albino walrus when I run. And that's the crazy thing. KAYSHON, what's really cool about KAYSHON is his body is so still when he runs. He's not exerting much energy. Also, one thing, KAYSHON was really good again as the gunner on punt team. He made a tackle today, and he was going to down the football inside the 5, but Avery Atkins booted it into the end zone. I look like a walrus when I run. Okay, so Tony, congratulations! You are the winner of the Joe Burrow Luminance rookie card. Boom. What's really cool about this one is this one does have like I like the way that they did the Burrow on these rookies. So there you go. Where's Peyton Todd? Well, Avery Atkins is having a good season right now. So I do not want to go out and watch the end of this. I don't want to go out and watch the end of this Arkansas game with my girlfriend, because if Arkansas loses, and because Arkansas has choked against Texas A&M so many times, like a lot. Okay. If they do it again, I do not want to be around her later. I might just do another live chat later. You do not want to do that. Yeah, Jay, their nose tackle is an interesting story. He was like a wrestling champion in Illinois, and they had a really good nose tackle last year. Did Arkansas score again? But that's what happens, though. Don't jinx Arkansas. I'll stay on as long as you guys keep super chatting, man. I'm always down, man. Give it to Tony. Tony, people are still holding it down for you, man. Look. Let's see. Kedrick, let me know if you're still listening. I want to send you some stuff as well for the youngin'. There we go. Ultra Rider. One of our many Mobile and Fairhope LSU Tigers. Oh, dear God. Why are we starting TDP after Connor capped our 202 yards in his first game? Mike, thank you so much for helping out. For those that don't know, Mike was the one who donated a few of the cards that we've given out, including this Joe Burrow card. Mike has been a subscriber, so shout out to Mike. So Tony, you owe it to Mike, man. This is actually the first Joe Burrow card of the Luminance variety that I had. So I'm actually giving this one out. I'm probably going to buy some more to give out to you guys anyway. But TDP Ultra had a good game today. Pass protection was good. He picked up blitzes. Obviously, the next step is throwing the football out of the backfield. You saw Armani Goodwin had a catch. TDP had a solid game today. I really did think he had a solid game. And Mississippi State runs a very similar defense to that. There you go, Tony. I appreciate it, man. I hope, Tony, hope we can link up before the year's over. Reggie, one of our cancer warriors for PHL. You gotta love it, man. What's good, man? Jared is currently driving and super chatting. People, don't drive and super chat. Well, actually, risk it and super chat. Don't comment, but if you want to super chat, drive while you super chat. Put the steering wheel between your legs and you send that cash, baby. What's up, Carter? I watched today's game and was very impressed overall by these young men, but the OL still left a bad taste in my mouth. I don't see a way that they could fix it. Do you? Well, yes, Reggie. At some point, you get a large enough sample size where it comes down to, can those guys actually play? And right now, the LSU offensive line, we have a large enough sample to know that it's not really that great. With that said, today was a step in the right direction, okay? Last year, we gave up so much unblocked pressure, and today we quite simply didn't do that. So there is a difference, right, between bad offensive line play, which is your guys getting bull rushed, our guys getting beat. That's bad. But worse offensive line play is being out schemed and allowing guys to go unblocked. You never want to give up interior unblocked pressure. And I don't think LSU ever did that today. I thought the blitz pickup today was good, but the execution of that blitz pickup is a different story. I thought overall it was better. Oh, Jared, are you riding with some Mississippi State fans? Oh, man. Exactly. Good to hear from you, TPV. I hadn't seen you in a minute. Yeah, Cordell Flott. He is the story. Big Al, I'm still pissed off about this. He did make that catch. The first thing is he caught the ball. It was a bad throw by Max, too. We need him to deliver that ball and end the game. A decent throw probably ends the game. Jack Best probably catches it and turns upfield. The second thing, of course, is, yes, he did catch it. The ball never hit the ground. But since it was ruled an incompletion and it was not enough to overturn it, still, that was a ridiculous catch. I mean, Jack Best is just so ridiculous, man. So, yeah. Arkansas might be the biggest threat to Bama. That's just such a bad matchup for them because it's hard to do what Arkansas is doing against an Alabama, but They can. They can beat this Alabama team. No one would have beaten last year's Bama's team, and no one would have beaten the year before LSU's team. The good thing about the SEC, though, is that it's wide open. Anyone can beat anybody. So yeah, and look, the good thing about being an LSU football fan is even if the scheme sucks, you always have enough raw talent to beat anyone, right? Florida had one of their best teams in the college football playoff era, and we still beat them. That was our worst team. You're always going to have enough raw talent to beat anyone. Oh, you got them Chalmette Tigers. I gotta love it. Let's see. Great win today, Cortez. Absolutely. You got to give Jack Besh the catch. Jay! Let's go. Let's go. Going to the ship. We are bad gamers. You don't say that. Jay, get your question in. Thank you for the super chat. You got to be careful about the Shalmation Nation, baby. Most of my really good friends in college were from Chalmette. Man, I freaking love Chalmette. Funnest people. Had a bunch of wild nights with the Shalmations. But more importantly, LSU played while Liverpool played. I wasn't able to watch a Liverpool game, and the final score, I know all you guys care, was 3-3. I haven't even gotten a chance to see the goals. As long as we beat Arkansas, that's how I am. As much as I want Arkansas to win today, the Golden Boot, I grew up in Arkansas, is very important. Got to win that Golden Boot. Got to win that Golden Boot. Yeah, Chris, I need to rewatch it. I think I know which play you're talking about. I think they ran some kind of twist or something. I don't know. I do need to rewatch the play. Yeah, I mean, LSU's wide receivers are just as good, if not better, than those schools in years past. Not this year, but in years past. Ohio State has the best set of receivers in the country this year. I don't think a lot of people would argue with that. But in the past few years, we have been better. Let's see. Who do you think is the single most important person responsible for the run game on the offensive line? Honestly, DJ, the answer to that is a little complicated, but I would say Liam right now because he just gives up so much penetration once he snaps the football, and teams have kind of figured that out. What up, Eric? Good to hear from you again, my man. Holding down the North Carolina Tigers. Or Robbins Air Force Base Tigers, excuse me. Thank you, Jay. These are the best comments in the world. I really appreciate you, man. I'm not going to lie. I understand we can't live in the past, but the National Championship 2019 logo, all the crap LSU made after that is just so clean. The fact that the logo looks like the Superdome, it's just so clean. The 2019 championship logo is so daggum clean. Who's the best pass rusher we have on the defensive front? Honestly, it's either Mason or Jaquelin this year. Those two guys have been the best. They didn't have their best game. Obviously, rushing out of a 3-man is a little bit different than out of a 4-man. You're not going to get as many one-on-ones. So it is going to be interesting to see if LSU runs more 3-man, who is their guy going to be? Once again, BJ Ojolari's just having some snaps he'll get really good pressure and they're just releasing the football too early. But yeah, it's last week he had 2.5 sacks. that were created by other players. But, he's getting slightly better. Once again, we still haven't seen Pico Ojolari. He was great against Florida last year. Was great against Mississippi State last year. We still have yet to see the best from him. Ed's UCLA game wasn't great. Last two games were better. Once again, I still need to go rewatch the Mississippi State game before I actually give my opinion on him. BJ's playing good right now. He's not reached his peak yet, though. He can play a lot better. But yeah, pass rush has been pretty good. I still love this 3-man drop 8 defense. I love it. Auburn's losing to Georgia State right now? Yeah, sure, Michael. I need to go rewatch it once again. I know I'm sounding like a coach. We got to go back and watch the film, but it's true. There's 22 guys on a football field all at one time. There's no way you can process all the information of what happened during a game unless the information pertains to where the football is going. That is the only thing you can really concentrate on during the course of a game, right? So here's the thing. Mississippi State's long play on the day through the air was 29 yards, whereas LSU had one throw for 64, one throw for 58, one throw for 41. The explosive play battle will win you games more often than not, okay? And while Mississippi State had 486 yards of total offense compared to our 343, we averaged a full yard per play more than they did. 5.5 yards per play is the best mark LSU has had in quite some time. That was only the third time in our last, 12 Power 5 games that we didn't give up at least 7. This was the first time that, we gave up 5.5. It was really good. Oh, God. Out that boot, I will take it. That'd be my dream, man. But yeah, Ed Ingram is kind of tough to it's kind of tough to evaluate once again at this point. Now I'll rewatch and then go from there. Let's see. What's interesting, Paris? This is such a great question. I'm going to answer Reggie's first. So, do you believe we should be ranked after this weekend? I believe we should be ranked around 21, 23. No, not after beating Mississippi State. No. Once again, I don't keep up with all the other teams, and I don't care if we're ranked in the later 20s. It really doesn't matter. So no. So, Paris, this is interesting. I hope we get Glenn Logan and Emory. Glenn Logan, I'll tell you this. If LSU runs more 3-men front, Glenn Logan becomes a more effective player. But as far as a 4-man front is concerned, it's just not my thing with Glenn Logan. He's not been a good player in the 4-man front. And obviously his health is a big thing as well. I like LSU's defensive tackle rotation right now, but I will say Glenn Logan he was really good in 2019. He was a really good football player. Man, I would do it. I would do it in a heartbeat. I think Deculus has an NFL shot. I think the only thing that will hold him back is will he want to move to guard and his health. But yeah, as an offensive tackle, he has no shot. Max at about 63 completions and average rush getting better, even just a little. Yeah, 3.7. Yeah, it was a difference. All right, Kevin, we should run more plays under center. It may help the run game and play action pass. I'm not opposed to that, Kevin. I'm really not. It just comes down to if Jake feels comfortable doing it. I don't want a young play caller to feel uncomfortable in his play calling, right? What's interesting? So on LSU's play action pass to KAYSHON, what was very interesting was Jason Hines pulled on the play. I'm kind of shocked that LSU doesn't pull their linemen more in the run game. I would like to see that. I thought some of their better plays against Central Michigan was when they were pulling their linemen in the run game. But I will say this, okay? I know a lot of you saying Carter as an analyst. I would love it. I will say this, right? I was begging for LSU to run this defense. Begging. I don't know how many more times I had to say on the thing. Don't bring all your guys to the line of scrimmage. It's hard to play these air raid offenses when you do that. But all you guys saw that. So that's not really a genius thing. But look, LSU's team just played better. The defense just played better. Now, I understand when you run these three-man fronts, your defensive line isn't going to be as effective. So what? There is no award for having the most sacks. Who gives a rip? There is no award. You don't get a you don't get a star. You don't get a gold medal for creating the most pressure. Pressure rate's important. Havoc rate's important. Turnover percentage. All those things are important. But the most important thing is points. And one way to prevent points from happening is by forcing them to drive the football down the field. Because here's the thing. The more plays you force them to run, the more prone they are to making mistakes. Guess what? If you force them to drive the football down the field and they commit just one holding penalty, guess what? They're behind the sticks. But if you give up 50-yard bombs, here's the thing. A 50-yard pass is essentially worth 3 points because 50-yard plays more often than not are going to get you into field goal range, right? So, look, I am all for what we did today. What is the poll looking like? Did we do a poll? We did do a poll. Oh, you want another poll question? Let's do this. Big time poll question right here, guys. And I need everybody to be a part of it. Okay. Georgia State scored another touchdown. What is the score? Mm. Did y'all hear? Did LSU do any wishbone today? Hunter, I did see Clay and Hollis last night, and the nephew. It was good. Flott for the Thorpe. Jack Besh for the Heisen. Jason, I was wondering where you were, Jason. Yeah, Auburn's not that good. Would you want to go watch the Arkansas game with a Hog fan for the first time in like 50 years? They're good. There's no way I want to be around that right now. So you guys keep super chatting. I always tell Haley this. If the super chats keep flowing in, I will stay here all night. I don't mind staying here till midnight, baby. Rent's got to get paid. Rent is due. I also got to pay shipping on Tony's Joe Burrow card. Let's see here. I might have another. Let's see. Let's see. Boom. All right. So Tony wins the Joe Burrow rookie. But guess what? Super added, you're qualified. We're giving out a second Joe Burrow right now. Okay. Giving out a second Joe Burrow. All you got to do is super chat. Or here's what we'll do for the second Joe Burrow. All right. 1 for 10, 2 for 15, 3 for 20. The next person that gets booger bands, Cash App, Venmo 20, Super Chat 25. You're getting this Joe Burrow card with 3 booger bands. I tweeted out the booger band crew. We added a new member to the booger band crew. Shout out to Chad. Let me get Chad up here. Okay. Let's see here. Let's see. All right. Look at this. I want you guys to see this right here. Share screen. Chrome tab. Chad right here. Boom. You guys see that? You know you want it. 1 for 10, 2 for 15, 3 for 20, 3 for 20 booger bands. Okay. I didn't want to give out this Burrow. I love Sage products too. Giving out a Joe Burrow right here. Mark, all you got to do, 1 for 10, 2 for 15, 3 for 20. If you get 3 for 20, you're getting this right here. Okay. 3 for 20. You'll take it? Mark, all you got to do, shoot me a Venmo or Cash App at Card of the Power, and then shoot me an email. powerhourlsu@gmail.com. That's all you got to do, Mark. Shoot me an email, powerhourlsu@gmail.com. You got it. All you got to do is shoot me a Venmo or Cash App, $20, and this is going to be a part of your thing, man. Congratulations. Let's see. Oh, Haley's going nuts. I don't even want to know what's happening in the game. She's going to be unbearable. There you go. Venmo, all you got to do is this. Hit me up. Card of the Power. Oh, this is such a good photo of Max. I'm going to pull it up. All right. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. You guys understand, if Bo Nix sucks, we might see TJ Finley next week. Oh, my God. If Bo Nix sucks today, we might see TJ Finley next week. Oh, my God. I don't know if I'd want to do a show. I'm sure the discourse is going to be fantastic. Oh, man. She's watching. You got to understand, man. Imagine if you were an LSU fan and you had the same amount of success Arkansas had, and you were having this game, and Arkansas chokes versus A&M every year. They do. Look at this. Look at Max. Look at Max, guys. Don't slander my QB1. You shine, Max. You shine, young man. Y'all see that? Y'all see this young man? Oh, send me one, Jared. Send me one. I would love a TJ Finley versus LSU matchup. There's Max. Going ahead, baby. Hit your gritty, Max. Hit your gritty, Max. Not your QB1 hitting a gritty. Let's go, baby. That's what I like to see. He's got the flak jacket on too. You got Mason Smith in the background. Beautiful. There you go, Max. There you go, QB1. I like it. Is he dug in? QB1. Oh, man. I freaking love it. What? Oh, man. Let's go, Hogs. Let's go. There you go, Mark. Well, congratulations. Round of applause for Mark. Mark is a part of the Booger Band Club. There you go. So, Mark, all you have to do now so I can get your address, powerhourlsu@gmail.com, Mark. Shoot me an email. Send the address. Round of applause. I think Romeo's a part of the Booger Band Club. Jared's a part of the Booger Band Club. What's up, Travis? They should keep rushing 3. Who exactly? I'm with you, Travis. And you're wearing a Yankees hat too? I get down with the Yankees. There you go. So congratulations, Mark. It's rare we give out Joe Burrow cards. But that's going to be our new game day tradition. We give out Joe Burrow cards, okay? We give out the GOAT on game day. So there you go, Mark. Congratulations. Let's see what else we got here. This was a good photo right here. Cole Taylor. Y'all see this? Who does that remind you of? Okay. Who does that remind you of? Tell me who was the last person to strike this pose going into the end zone? I want to check your LSU history. Who was the last LSU player to do that exact hand pose going into the end zone? Boom! Captain Kenneth is a youngin' too. You, Mark, you're in Montgomery, Alabama. We have so many Alabama viewers. Tobo Tiger, Jared, God, Ultra Rider, who super chatted earlier. Congratulations, Mark. You're part of the Booger Band Club, and you're part of the Joe Burrow Card Club. How about that, man? You know what? Kevin Marcus Spears did it too. Let's go. We got a bunch of Texas Tigers in here. It's such a good photo of Cole. I'm happy for Cole to get that opportunity. This photo is even better, though. Okay. Jared, I don't know if you're able to watch. Were you in this end zone over here? Let me put this. Let me see. Oh, it's not seeing my cursor. How cold is this photo right here? Look at this. Trey. Kind of crazy, though, that you see the upper deck wasn't even full for this game. For an SEC game. Look at that. Look at all this purple and gold right here. LSU fans show up and show out. You got to love it, man. New Iberia is in the house. What's up, Freighter? Congratulations. Mark, welcome to the Booger Band Club. Big Al, treasurer of PHL, is in the Booger Band Club. I think SG is a part of the Booger Band Club too. Okay. Max, are you a part of the Booger Band Club? Max has got to be in there. Let's go, Hogs. Let's go. Every Arkansas fans knows that, dude, they've choked so many games away to Texas A&M. So many. Well, Max, you know I got you. You super chatted so much. Max, do you want to be a part of the Booger Band Club? Let me know. If so, just shoot me an email. You know I got you, man. You're legit, like, top 5 viewer on this channel. I'm dead serious. Max is in every chat. He always pushes me, always make sure my opinions are on point. So shout out to you, Max. You deserve to be a part of the Booger Band Club. I think everybody knows that. Okay, let's keep it going here. This was a touchdown. I can't show that. This is such a dope photo of Trey in the end zone. And it's kind of cool. You see his hand? His hand is right where all the empty fans are. That's so cool. That is such a great photo right there, Trey. SG. There you go. Where is she from in Arkansas? Book strong. Let's go. Mark, you're part of the club, man. I've been seeing some Booger Band Club members at games. Booger forever. Romeo was really tight with Boog the dog. Max, shoot me an email if you want some Booger Bands. You know I got you. Once again, if you want to be a part of the Booger Band Club, 1 for 10, 2 for 15, 3 for 20. Now, I don't have another Joe Burrow card to give out for this live chat. Okay? But if your heart desires, let's see which card. These are just the cards I hold in my hands all the time. I understand everybody wants a Joe Burrow card. Okay? Whenever I give out Joe Burrow, everybody wants Joe Burrow cards. But here's what we're going to do, okay? How about we do this? Okay, because I think a few of you want to be a part of the Booger Band Club. Okay. Oh, South Dumas. Interesting. Here's what we're going to do. Okay. Y'all know who this is right here? The next person that gets 3 Booger Bands, you're getting a Tyrann Mathieu card in your order. Now, Joe Burrow's the GOAT. We all know that, right? This guy's probably number 2. He's definitely not below top 5. Right? And not only will I give out a Tyrann Mathieu, let's do this. Let's give out a Tyrann Mathieu. I'm in a GOAT kind of mood, right? Let's give it a Tyrann Mathieu. And I'm also going to include a Shaquille O'Neal. Okay? The next person that joins the Booger Band Club, you're getting both of those cards. 1 for 10, 2 for 15, 3 for 20. That was a good touchdown by Trey. It did help that the coverage was blown. Who cares? Trey caught it, scored. Who cares? Well, it's kind of hard to characterize what really happened in this game. But here's the thing, 256 Moxley. The SEC is not as good as it was last year, ironically. They just weren't. So they just aren't. Arkansas apparently is the only good team in the West this year, along with Alabama and Ole Miss. Auburn's not good. They're not looking good right now. They're getting beat by Georgia State. So, we could be in a worse spot. So yeah, I'm not panicking just yet about the rest of the SEC, right? Mississippi State's a solid team. They played well last week against Memphis, and they got very unlucky to lose that game. So yeah, once again, this win is going to be forgotten about. We're never going to remember this win. We're not going to tell our grandkids about this win, but it was a win. It's one of those things. So once again, the next person that joins the Booger Band Club, the 3 for 20 deal, you're getting both of these legends. I've honestly never included 2 legends of this stature all in one package. Okay. This is a good way to characterize it. Austin, Texas Tiger. I like that name. Welcome to the channel. Yeah, the Mississippi State Mike Leach era has not been great. You take the Joe Burrow. I meant the Joe Burrow. You take the Joe Burrow. You take that game last year out. Yeah, exactly, Big Al. Auburn's a good team. They recruit, top 10 nationally? They have a lot of talent. These pictures are so good of Trey. I like it. Happy for Trey. Keep this. This guy's kind of good, isn't he? Look at that. Beast mode. Can't show the actual play. This is the best photo from the game. Jared, where were you sitting for this play? Look at Cordell. Cordell Flott. Abs of steel. Look at that. Didn't even have his mouthpiece in. Let's keep that photo up for a little bit. How about it? Let's zoom in a little more. Boom. How great does that look? Doesn't get better. Nicole. Dang, Jared, you had some good seats for this game. Oh, did those tall boy cases, they didn't have anything on there? Oh, they sang the fight song in front of you. Or the alma mater. The Patrick Peterson windmill game, baby. So there you go. There you go. Tony said, go on ahead and give it to me. So, Tony, congratulations. Boom. He wants the Shaquille O'Neal and Tyrann Mathieu cards. There you go, Tony. Look at Tony. Look at Tony. Look at Tony right here. Congratulations, Tony. Boom. Tony is getting all three of these cards. Are you kidding me? You get the GOAT, and the GOAT. I mean, Tony, look, are these the three best LSU athletes of the modern era right here? Are these the three best? God, that is truly crazy. And LSU's had some good ones. Congratulations, Tony. There you go. Look at Tony, huh, Drew? I like your avatar, dude, Tony. There you go. I love it. Tony, you're getting all three of them, baby. Congratulations, man. Shaquille O'Neal, Tyrann Mathieu, and Joe Burrow. I love it, man. There you go. Congratulations, Tony. I'm gonna give you a few more as well. Why not? Georgia State. Let's go. We Are Bad Gamers really wants a card. It just comes down to how bad you want it. We Are Bad Gamers. Captain Kenneth. So, fun fact, I'm 29. First time around at LSU, the most electric moment ever was from Tyrann Mathieu in the student section during the 2011 season. That's crazy. I was in the press box that year. Who remembers how 7 made that 12 possible? Yeah, Tyrann Mathieu's second. I don't know. Joe Burrow's number 1. I would put Mathieu probably number 2 if 2012 didn't happen. But if you exclude what happened in 2012, Tyrann Mathieu is definitely number 2. He is definitely number 2 on that list. So, yeah. Cordell Flott. But it's close. You know, Patrick Peterson's probably number 3. Probably him or Devin. At that. KAYSHON Boutte. Matt KAYSHON might be number one when his career is over. Goodness gracious. You want to talk about a career? KAYSHON's career at this point, I don't know since Tyrann Mathieu if we've seen a player have a good true first year and true second year as good as KAYSHON. I'm dead serious about that. I don't remember an LSU player so dominant in their first and second years at LSU. Jamar's definitely in that discussion as well, but KAYSHON, man, he is so freaking good, man. He is so freaking good. Look at this catch. Look at that. And what's really interesting about KAYSHON's game is like it's not just one type of catch. It's slants. It's run after the catch. It's deep routes. It's intermediate routes. He's just so freaking good. He's whether it's football IQ, anything, he's probably the sharpest player on the team. He knows where to get open. He's just a legend already. I mean, really, when you think about it, do we beat Florida without KAYSHON? No. Do we beat Ole Miss without KAYSHON? Heavens no. The UCLA game was only close because of KAYSHON, and we definitely don't win today if KAYSHON didn't play. And number 25 as well helps out because guess what? Cordell Flott also forced this fumble. You do your thing. It's good seeing Damon Clark get his shine. So not only did he force the fumble, he got up and blocked down the field. Oh, yeah. It's Z time.
Who gave you salon paws?
Salon paws? What are you talking about?
That box?
Oh, that's for the Joe Burrow card.
Oh.
Come on, baby.
Woo pig.
Woo pig. You're calm today.
She just woke up from her nap. I was rubbing her belly on the bed.
Somebody's calm today. Tony just dropped the $50 super chat.
Harry Styles nails. Y'all take care, Carter. Next week we'll be going to see Harry Styles. Woo, woo, woo. You care not, don't you?
Yeah, Olave's pretty good, but I think KAYSHON's number one. And I could just be LSU bias. He's really good.
No, he's number one.
That's my baby's favorite player.
My favorite.
KAYSHON.
Hey, I couldn't get CBS Sports to download. Like, I tried even on Apple TV Plus, but I've got it in here.
Oh, you got it in there?
Yeah. Is that okay?
That's fine. Go Hogs.
17-3.
17-3. Go Hogs.
Woo pig. Paul is very excited.
Go Hogs.
Lots of Elda.
Go Hogs.
Yep.
Yeah, I would agree with you, Reggie. He's definitely the most unique player in LSU history. You could make a case TM7's number one. You can. But Joe's definitely number one. But you can make a case. You can make a case. I think he's the only person you can actually make a case versus Joe, though. I really do. And, but I think if you factor everything in when it comes to a career is concerned, I would put PP7 over Tyrann because PP7 did play that final year. But Tyrann's 2011 is the greatest season we've ever seen from an LSU Tiger, not named Joe Burrow. But yeah, I would say KAYSHON's probably number one. I mean, every game he's given you a touchdown. Every game. More often than not, he's given you 2 touchdowns. Okay? It's screens. It's bubbles. It's blocking. Hell, KAYSHON made a tackle on punt team today. He is the smartest football player on this team, and he's the best football player on this team. He just understands the game. And someone's talking about it. It looks like he's not running hard sometimes. Well, the game, you could just tell by the way he plays the game. He's processing information really, really, really fast. Okay. He doesn't mistime his jump. He dives when he needs to dive. He doesn't make things theatrical he's just smart. But KAYSHON is well on his way to being one of the best LSU football players of all time. Of all time. Okay. And that's not an overstatement. Where he is, the trajectory he is on, he very well could be the greatest LSU wide receiver we've ever seen. And once again, he's doing this with not great pass protection, not Justin Jefferson and Terrace Marshall by his side. He's just ridiculous. He's so freaking good. He's so freaking good. And he got so good so quickly. We didn't take him for granted, but if you go look at my channel, I did no KAYSHON Boutthe videos over the summer because I just assumed that he would be great. All of us did, and he has even exceeded those expectations. He's ridiculous. He is absolutely ridiculous. Okay. So yeah, it's crazy. I know, Jared. We've already gotten to this point with Z as well. Harry Styles. Yeah, BTJ had a really good game today. He had a really, really, really good game today. Let's see. I think it was LSU's second best receiver. 3 catches, 43 yards. Really good game today. He had 3 catches on 4 targets. Really good stuff. Yeah, man, I was never on fire for Auburn's coaching hires. But we'll see. If they find a way to get out of this, that would obviously be good for them. And it also kind of puts more pressure on LSU to get the job done next week, simply because you don't want to lose to a team that lost to 1-2 Georgia State. Let me see how they've scored. Oh God, there's 6 carries for 142 yards. Tucker Gregg. Tucker Gregg? You can't give up 142 yards to a guy named Tucker Gregg. I love that. From Chatsworth, Georgia. Tucker Gregg. I love that, man. He's in that discussion for real. I mean, he really is. Yeah, it's unreal. And those 2 guys are legends, right? And, he's playing in a different type of role as those 2 guys, but man, he's crazy. We are bad gamers. I have to disagree. One Direction is the best pop boy band of all time. Okay. Modern pop bands, One Direction is number 1. They're better than NSYNC. They're better than Backstreet Boys. And this is coming from someone that was a big fan of both of them. They're better. And I just lost 10 viewers on that. I don't give a rip. Okay. I will die on this One Direction hill. They did what the Backstreet Boys and NSYNC did, but they did it better. Okay. Now their music videos weren't as good. Okay. But One Direction was better than them. One Direction was better than them. Okay. Yeah, I don't play many video games. The video game I played a lot was FIFA, right? But I also played the NCAA football game quite a bit. Okay. That's not true, though. I thought 1D lapped everybody, scoring everything. One Direction is better. They're better. ETJ was my neighbor. That's cool, man. I'm happy he's getting this chance. I know one of his teammates watches the channel. And I like Backstreet Boys. Everybody Now is probably my favorite song by any of those bands. NSYNC's great, but NSYNC was one of those random groups where kind of like Destiny's Child, where the singer left and became better. Beyonce is actually no. I like Destiny's Child more than I like Beyonce, but I like Justin Timberlake more than I like NSYNC. However, I will agree with this. I don't like Harry Styles' solo career. It's just not my thing. But Harry Styles in One Direction, 1D is fire, straight fire. But I will fight over One Direction. They took boy pop bands to the next level. Now, I'm not a super fan of the boy band thing, but when I listen to them and the songs that I have listened to, One Direction's better. They're better. Number one match Butte CD so far for the yards. No. Yeah, for sure.
No.
Arkansas game's back on. Let's go, Hogs. Let's go. Let's go, Hogs. But yeah, this is the only LSU channel that will stand 1D. Okay? Boy band, not my favorite type of music, but just based on the elite world global phenomenon boy bands, One Direction's better than any of them. Any of them. Better than BTS, better than any junk you want to throw out there. Okay? Buck, welcome to the channel, man. This is Buck's first time ever watching. And we do all these deep analytical LSU breakdowns. We do 2 hours of diehard LSU coverage. But One Direction slander started. We'll get back to football, though. Buck, go on ahead. You're new to the chat. Pick whichever question you want to in the world. Buck is like, what in the world? There's this chubby, gray-haired, Bruno Mars-looking guy who has all this LSU football stuff, but he's in here talking about Harry Styles? New kids on the block. I love it, man. Buck is probably putting all my videos all over the place. Like, guys, I just wanted LSU football chat, right? But this guy is in here talking about Harry freaking Styles. Let's get into this. What are the thoughts on how this Anthony injury won't impact the season? To me, it feels like we're losing fresh legs that wouldn't need when the D wasn't making plays in the second half. Yeah, Austin, let's be honest. Andre Anthony was LSU's best defensive end up to this point. Ali Gay was okay this game. Obviously, it wasn't too great. The scheme was a little bit different for him today. And then BJ Ojolari's had some good moments this year, and he's also had some other moments. Buck, it's a good question. That's kind of cool, though. Your name is Buck, and you are holding a buck. Or is that a buck? I don't hunt. Anyway, I'll say this. I thought the defensive scheme was great. This is something, and Buck, apparently you're new to the channel. This is something that I've been wanting for quite some time. And it's silly. The more guys you have away from the line of scrimmage, and honestly, this is just simple. This is just simple breakdown here, and it's an oversimplification of defensive scheme. Okay, so let's talk about defensive scheme really quickly. Okay, so a lot of you are familiar with the 3-man front and a 4-man front. Obviously, that's not as important as it used to be because now defenses are multiple. The buzzword is multiple. Well, I disagree with that. I do think there is a difference between 3-man personnels and 4-man front personnels. And what happened versus the UCLA game was, number one, LSU didn't have enough speed on the field. And number two, our defenses were far too easy to figure out pre-snap. Okay? Now, if you're going to be static pre-snap and you don't show a lot of different looks, what you need to do is make sure that you're playing a very conservative defense if you're going to do that, right? Because if you give away what you're going to do pre-snap and you're rushing 4 guys every single time, like what happened against UCLA, Chip Kelly and DTR, their experienced coach, experienced quarterback, they're going to figure you out. And that is essentially what happened in that game. 'Whereas today, yes, we didn't throw a lot of exotic looks, but we ran a lot of 4-man but we were very conservative. It is really hard to throw the football when 8 guys are playing coverage. And I understand that they got a few throws off on us, but half of the deeper throws, so like the 10-yard, air yard throws or more, about half of those throws were very difficult throws. They were Will Rogers was trying to fit it into tight windows. And you notice what happened when you do that? The quarterbacks throw picks. That's why we got that early pick with Cordell Flott. We want them to do that. We want them to run the football. And what you saw was finally, later in the game, Will Rogers had the opportunity to Malik Heath for a touchdown, and he overthrew him. And that frustrated him even more. That rushed his mechanics even more. We want them to do that, okay? Understand this. And Buck, I hope you're still in here. I know this got really deep. But every time the offense runs the football, it is a minor win because analytically, if you look at it EPA per play or just by basic yards, when you throw the football, you're going to average more yards per attempt than you are just yards per rush. So in theory, every time you force a passing team to run the football, it's a win. Even if they gain 7 yards, it's a win because that is not what they want to do. Okay, how many times in this game did you see them get 5, 6, 7 yards or first down, but then end up not doing anything with it? It happened a few times this game because that's not what they want to do. They want to throw the football. So honestly, the defensive scheme was really smart because, yes, this was not LSU's base defensive scheme, okay? But we shared this in a live stream, and it was about 2 hours in. The more important thing you need to do as a defensive coordinator is to answer this question. And this is the most important question you have to answer as a defensive coordinator. What is it that we can do that they don't want us to do? Okay? I know that got a little deep, but it's essentially put, we want to force them to do things that they do not want to do. Okay? Mississippi State wants you to run man coverage. They want you to rush 4 guys because that gets their screen game going. That gets those tunnel screens going. That gets their crossing routes going. So when you do that, that is really good defensive scheme. It really is. Okay. So hopefully, Buck, I know it's your first time to the channel. Hope you check out our other stuff. No more One Direction talk unless you super chat. If you super chat, I will talk more One Direction. They got Danny DeVito on a freaking music video. Come on. But full disclosure, and that's the thing. I don't understand that, Buck. I can understand why they did it because they wanted to generate more rush. I thought they should have just stuck in it, though. I do think you do need to switch it up sometimes, though. I don't think you could just drop 3 and rush 8 the entire game. Sometimes those 4-man rushes did get home and they worked. It's just, it's hard against a team that throws the football so quick. Yeah, so look, they do have a decent air attack. I give them a lot of credit. They do. Now, full disclosure about this is as great as their defensive as great as their air attack is, we made them do things that they didn't want to do. And that's the key thing, right? What you want to do defensively, what defensive coordinators do that doesn't make any sense, okay, is they keep thinking that the best thing they should do is what you do, right? Football coaches have this mentality that we control our own outcomes defensively when you don't. The first thing you should do defensively is ask yourself that first question. What do they do well? Okay. Here's a perfect example. Okay. The most legendary example of this is obviously early years Bill Belichick, where he forced, what was it? He forced Jim Kelly to hand the football off instead of throw it in a Super Bowl or something like that. And That's why Bill Belichick is so good. He always tailored his defensive schemes into very situational. He had very situational schemes. He always did things that made the opposing offenses uncomfortable. Whereas LSU's defensive philosophy before today was, well, we are going to be the playmakers. We are going to dictate the pace. We are going to determine. We're going to force pressure. We're going to put guys into the box. We're going to put pressure on them. When that is not what you want to do. You do not want to do that because it is so easy to manipulate that. Yeah, Mason at defensive end was an okay experiment today. I kind of like him there if you're going to keep running 3-man fronts. But yeah, I think he'll be okay. I do. God, Clemson's offense sucks again today. Man, does Tony Elliott have a job after this week? Goodness gracious. I know NC State played well against Mississippi State. God. Things could get ugly in Clemson really quickly. Let me see. Let me look at a few other scores really quickly. All right. Exactly, Amacat. That's what I was thinking too. That's the role he played in high school too. Let's go Hogs. I really want Arkansas to win, man. If you grew up, I'm in a group chat with all Arkansas grads. Man, you got to understand. I understand we're LSU and we want to win as many games as we possibly can. This is such a great photo right here. This gives me some good feels inside. I understand we want to win as many games as we possibly can, and we want to go to as many playoffs as we possibly can. But imagine, if you're a UCLA football fan, where you beat us, you think you really took a next step, and then you lose to Fresno. Or imagine if you're an Arkansas fan. Imagine if you're a Georgia fan, and let's just say Georgia doesn't get to the playoff this year. They're the best team in the country right now. But if they don't get to the playoff this year, man, I would freaking cry. We're lucky to be where we are. A few more photos from today. There's Coach O. There's QB1 going in like an assassin. I love it, man. Yeah, it would be interesting to see him in that spot. Jared, forget your buddies. I'm kidding. Enjoy your time, man. Let's see, Max, QB1. Rick's had a good game today. I'm interested who blew the coverage on that Makai Polk TD. But still, Eli was pretty good today. Let me see. I think this is Jacoby and Guillory here. Let me see. There's Nuss, Liam. Let's see. I love this. I love the truck, man. How cool is that? They have a decent offensive line. They do. It was just mostly us rushing 3. It's QB1. One more. KAYSHON. Our guy right there, baby. I'll pay money for Cordell Flott to come on this channel. If anyone knows him, I'll throw some cheddar his way. I feel like he deserves his shine. I do. If anyone has a Cordell Flott link up, let me know. He deserves his shine. In fact, I'm going to blow his photo up a little bit. He's got the chain game going. I love it, man. I think that's Bug Strong behind him, too. Freaking love that, man. Can Walker Howard start against Auburn? It was interesting. I wonder if Quinn Ewers is ever going to play for Ohio State this year. Yeah, it's not even close, Amacat. It's not even close. That is true, Reed. The one thing you can say about Liam Shanahan is how many bad snaps do you see? You never see bad snaps. Now, I might jinx it from this point forward, but he's good. Let's go, Hogs. Please, Arkansas, don't choke this game away. I can't deal with depressed girlfriend, depressed friends. Let's go, Hogs. What's this? Yo, Carter, what color schemes do you think LSU should come up with and have success winning in those uniforms? I don't know, Reggie. I just like the traditional whites, but I don't mind the purple uniforms from time to time. Yeah, come on. Gotta hate A&M, dude. I don't know if I hate A&M too much, though. I don't know what it is. Yeah, I think that's part of it, man. Yeah, Reed, I noticed that. I really don't know. He could just be animated. Oh, they scored again? God dog it. Please, Arkansas, don't choke this game. Please don't choke this game. Please, to the high heavens, don't choke this game. I should have bet the second half spread. Okay. Apparently there were rumors that Will Campbell was going to decommit. That is one player who should not decommit no matter what happens. If you're a good offensive lineman and you come to LSU, they're going to treat you like you're Joe freaking Burrow. Oh, crap. It was Isaiah Spiller? No, not Isaiah Spiller.
Spiller pops it into the secondary. This might be the play. Spiller on his way. Touchdown.
I don't know, Reed. I don't follow recruiting closely during the season, but Will Campbell released a statement saying, contrary to some reports, I have not had any thoughts on decommitting from LSU. I'm 100% locked in and look forward to enrolling in January. Once again, if there's anyone on this team, if there's any recruit in LSU history that should definitely go to LSU, it is Will Campbell. And you guys know I don't like to do too much recruiting during the season, but that is a pretty nasty rumor. He wants to go to LSU. He's put so many miles on his car driving to recruit other guys. He might as well come to LSU. They should give him gas mileage. I came from A&M. Well, I mean, Armella is definitely the guy, but I don't know if he's as good as Will Campbell. And just keep Emory Jones locked in and hope Malik Agbo comes back. I could use some Texas barbecue though tonight. Love some Texas barbecue. I had swordfish last night. My guy's a chef. He hooked me up. Shout out to Lance. Hooked me up with some swordfish last night. I'm not even a big swordfish guy. I honestly don't like swordfish at all, but I trust Big Lance, dude. He is a beast. I hope it's back too. Mm. Yeah, and I don't think that's a 1-year fix either. So I think you gotta give Jake another year to figure that out. Once again, this is what I love about KAYSHON Boutte. He said that the LSU offense should have put up more points. I just freaking love this guy, man. I freaking love this guy. Like, he's not one of these guys that just settles for good. Man, you just don't see a lot of guys not like him. You just don't. Guillermo, what's good, man? No negativity here. I'm glad we won. Yeah, swordfish is tough. I got some Chilean sea bass. I like that. Yeah, KAYSHON, he's definitely going to be number 7 next year. He is definitely going to be number 7. In fact, he should get number 7 now. I mean, he's that good. I'm hoping so as well. We are bad gamers. A lot of his family members are viewers of the channel. So shout out to Good Weather Fella. I think he's a family friend or member. I know his dad watches the channel. He's had some good snaps. He's had some rough snaps. I'm hoping for the best for him, though. We'll need him. He said what again? Who said what? Who said what? Read. Let's see. You know what's interesting? Ed Orgeron talked about Cardell. I know it was garbage time, but he had his best garbage time reps against Central Michigan. Mm. think my girlfriend put on Sex in the City. I really do think she put Sex in the City on. She can't watch this game anymore. Huh? Yeah, you know what's interesting? I wouldn't. You don't. You think the number 7 has a jinx on it? It could. It very well could. I thought Steve actually had a decent year calling plays last year. I thought his Florida game plan was genius in so many different ways. I thought Slinger was fine. I just think the Linehan thing wasn't sharp at all. Arkansas, don't choke. Don't choke. They don't deserve this. Don't choke, Arkansas. Please, you do not deserve this again. You don't. Okay, Sean. Yeah, he said it again, man. He said we could have put up more points. That's the kind of guy that you want. And I need a haircut really bad. Now that I think about it. Oh, they got it back? Good. We got some UFC tonight? There's no way we get Nick Diaz and Robbie Lawler. That's going to be the most entertaining fight of the year. Robbie Lawler is the most entertaining UFC fighter of all time. Morgan. Okay. I'm not giving up on Cardell just yet. I'm not. But Morgan, I'm not going to lie, if there was a Derek Stingley critic, it would be you, man. And you were right. You were very skeptical of his health going into this year. TCU and SMU got into a big brawl. Nice. Marcel Brooks. For you boxing fans out there, Anthony Joshua just lost again. I'm not a boxing guy, though. Zach Evans. You can see why Ed Orgeron wanted him so bad. I actually get a 1. Well, all right, guys. I want you to be able to enjoy the rest of the games. So if you have any questions or any more super chats, once again, I'll keep going. If you keep super chatting. If not, if you got a few more questions, let me know. Yeah, I don't know where Marcel Brooks is actually playing right now. I don't keep up with TCU. But I do see Zach Evans highlights. I think LSU will be favored next weekend against Auburn. Heck, they'll be at home. So yeah, Bo Nix on the road. I think LSU will probably open around 3.5, depending on how the rest of this Georgia State game goes. So yeah. I think NC State is winning. Clemson is Clemsoning right now. So yeah. Whoo. TJ might get the start next week. Colorado State's playing Iowa close. A lot of weirdness in college football right now. And Auburn is in trouble. How about Georgia today? 35-0 after 1, 62-0 final score. Missouri, goodness gracious. They hired freaking Steve Wilkes, not Steve Wilkes. The former Arizona Cardinals head coach, and he has been bad for Missouri this year. Goodness. Carter's laugh is the best in the business. Let's check in on the Cordell Flott poll. Cordell Flott for Heisman. You guys aren't feeling Cordell Flott for Heisman. That's fine. You can hate. Still going strong, baby. Well, we're actually about to sign off now. All right. It's going to do this. Congrats to the new Booger Band Club members. Don't forget, you can always get your PHL shirt. You don't even want a PHL shirt. Tomorrow night, we will have a film study that will drop at 7 p.m. Central. So Mississippi State Film Study tomorrow at 7 p.m. Central. So go right on ahead and check that out. Guillermo, LSU will go undefeated the rest of the year. Kidding. I feel better. I think a lot of you do as well. But that's why you got to tune in for the film study tomorrow at 7 p.m. Central. Okay, right here on this channel. And yeah. It is. Max will still be the starter if he keeps winning. Power Hour. LSU. Boom. Gumbo tonight. Let's go. Big win. Let's go.